Good morning. We've hit another weekend here at the Nelson House, and it's no different than any other day. So, welcome to quarantine. That's okay. We have things to do and stuff that we can enjoy and people to talk to, and really, what more do you need? Today, I am going to share with you something I've never shared. I have a blog that I have kept secret for a couple of years. Never shared it with anyone. It's where I put all the things that I really couldn't say to anyone else. And there's a couple of pieces I think I will probably dig out and let you have a peek at. I do have to make a disclaimer on this video. If you are a family member or someone who really loves me and is easily distressed, please do not watch this video. Okay? There are some things you do not want to know, and that's okay. I love you anyway. I don't need you to watch it or know about it or acknowledge it in any way. This is for me. And so I just wanted to say that, okay? Today, I will tell you about the time I knew I was nothing. We had lived in a house that had suffered from flooding one spring, and subsequently it was overgrown with toxic mold. We had to completely abandon it, even though we had our house paid for, and start over. But I had a lot of health complications that included some damage to my heart, and aggravated a fenestrated artery that I have in my brain. And so I had a series, over a dozen, of mini strokes over the course of about a year and a half. So while I was very ill and pretty much in bed 7-8 hours a day, David had scared off our remaining friends. He made me think that they didn't care, weren't coming to see me. He would growl them off the front porch if they brought over a casserole. He refused any phone calls from them. He erased their messages. And I didn't find that out for years. Anyway, I was in the midst of trying to get my health back, and here he was taking full advantage of my fatigue and drinking whenever and however much he wanted, and watching TV all day and playing video games all night. And we were arguing in the bedroom. Of course, the one place he wouldn't sleep, and he had kept me there for over an hour. He was just talking on and on, when all I wanted to do was just lie down and sleep. And I wound up in tears, literally on my knees, begging for mercy to just get up and go to the bathroom. I was just so tired. And he said, okay. And I went into the connecting bathroom, and I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I just wanted to get some space away from him and some tissues. So I'm standing there blowing my nose, and everything just sort of slid away into the dark, and I fell beside the bathtub. I don't think I was out for very long, really. I did hear him come in. He touched me, and I kept my eyes closed, really thankful for the break. And then he walked out. I stayed there on the floor for a really long time. I knew he must have thought I'd had another stroke, and maybe I did, I don't really know. But I just kind of breathed in and out, listening to nothing. And then the TV came on. I picked myself up, I washed my face, I checked my heart rate, I looked in the mirror, I stuck out my tongue, I smiled, all the things you do to see if you have any paralysis on the side of your face, which I had had in the past. There was only that little slight drag I have on my right side now from the first stroke, but I was okay. And I was a little sore from landing on the floor, but I didn't have any permanent damage. So I went out to the living room, and he was in his recliner watching television. He didn't look at me when I came out to the living room. He didn't speak to me for the next hour while I rustled around in the kitchen to fix us something to eat. And I knew he had left me there to die. He didn't call an ambulance. He didn't call my mother. He didn't come back to check on me. He left me back there on the bathroom floor to let my brain paralyze me and my heart stop beating. And he was going to watch TV while it happened. And that was the day I knew I was nothing. I was not worth saving, and I was not worth loving. It wasn't really so hard to live with. I felt it had been coming for a while. I was surprised that he would actually leave a human being to die on the floor of his house, but he was functionally drunk, so maybe he forgot about it. He certainly never mentioned it again. I just know that it made me feel hollow, scooped out like the center of a cantaloupe. He was not going to be there for me, for anything, ever. It was another 3 years before he was gone. And they were pretty long years, as things go. Sometimes I would stretch out on the bathroom floor in the dark and just listen. Sometimes I still press my head against the wall in the shower so I can weep. And almost when I do that, it feels like I have someone to lean on. There's a warm chest to put my head against. My kids think that I take long baths. So that's from my not-so-secret blog now. It's called confessionsofamerrywidow.wordpress.com if you want to read more. Thank you if you hung in there with me. I love you if you didn't.